Just minutes ago, President Obama approved a disaster declaration for West Virginia. 9 counties are dealing with a chemical spill. It contaminated the water supply. Up to 300,000 people are being told not to touch the tap water.
That includes homes, businesses, even hospitals.
People are unable to use water for anything. That means no showering, no shaving, no morning coffee, and no idea just how much longer it'll take.
Crowds filled stores in West Virginia Thursday night, stocking up on everything from water to ice. Demand for the items so high, shelves were wiped clean.
Everybody's wanting water. There is no water, and that brings concern.
I got a buggy full of ice up here, so it'll turn into water. But I mean, you can't live without water.
Never realize how much you need water until you don't have water.
In Eugenie Taylor's home, she put socks on the faucets to remind her 3 children not to use the water.
You can't wash the dishes, you can't take a shower.
And as folks here wait for word that their water is safe again, surrounding counties are opening fire hydrants to help out their neighbors.
Now, something else to keep in mind here is that some of the symptoms that are involved in this, or that authorities are warning residents of, is burning throat, itching hands and arms and skin, and a lot of other symptoms that are just really scary to begin with.
I don't think anyone had any clue what was going on. We just knew that there was a leak at Freedom, and that residents weren't supposed to use water at all.
Now, what was surprising to me, and I think surprising to a lot of people, was how susceptible that water source was. So the spill occurs on the Elk River. The Elk River is a water source for that area because it's so clean, right? And it is surrounded by a lot of dirty water. I mean, the cost of treating the Kanawha River for drinking water is exorbitant. I mean, it's so dirty you can't afford to. But the Elk River is a very clean river, one of the cleanest in the East, actually. And so you see how dependent then we have become as a state on our few really clean, productive water sources like the Elk River.
In Charleston, I got a sense of uneasiness, to begin with, because most people understood that it was going to be a while before this really had any sort of conclusion. To find water, we were fortunate that we have relatives in the area that are on wells, so we could go and shower anytime that we wanted or fill up our jugs anytime that we wanted. We're also, probably a little bit better prepared than the average Joe for an incident like this. But seeing the infrastructure come into place basically for emergency water rationing was interesting, not only because no one was prepared for it, but also trying to fathom what it was like to be completely cut off, to not have an appropriate supply of drinking water, or to only have to be able to shower in a public space every couple of days if you're lucky. We all joked at work that it was like the Batman movie where the Joker poisons everything and within 3 days everybody is stinky and disheveled. And that was really a #1 takeaway. How long is it going to be before we can all stand to be in close proximity to each other again? I don't know that I would say that even still we officially trust the water. We have switched to bottled water, drinking and cooking, and we also have a tabletop distiller in case we can't get to a bottled water supply. So in that, I don't know that we'll ever trust the city water system in Charleston again. As far as bathing and washing clothes, within a couple of weeks, everything was otherwise back to normal while we figured out what we wanted to do in regards to our drinking water. It's hard to say who was at fault for this incident. I think that there's a myriad of people, from the people that were operating the business itself to local politicians and the county commission. Anyone who knows anything about steel industrial tanks could drive down I-79, look and see 100-year-old pop-riveted carbon steel tanks and think that maybe they weren't the best thing to be running. To be honest with you, I didn't even know that they still had stuff in them. I thought they were just sitting there collecting a tax bill until somebody felt like scrapping them. And in that, Freedom Industries, I think, was doing what any business would do. They were having their tanks allegedly inspected by the state. Whoever signed off on that said that these tanks were okay to operate, and Freedom did not want the expense of replacing these huge tanks. And I wonder in the aftermath of that, how many times over the lifespan of those tanks, people from the city of Charleston, people from Kanawha County Commission, people from the state of West Virginia, the DEP, and all these agencies that are designed to make sure that industry is playing within the parameters that they have been prescribed to be in the state of West Virginia, didn't say anything about these tanks and the condition that they may be in. To put it very bluntly, the chemical leak into the water system in Charleston was an embarrassment for the entire state that we will feel for years and years to come.